plastic toxic sea. Now this is a real important video. Really important video. The Alaska Chinook Salmon catastrophe. Now this is right from the horse's mouth because I do the work. So we're being reported, widely reported all over the plastic sea. Pull out 40 tons of fucking fishing nets. There were 10 babies. We're down to 7. Crows eat them. So, raccoons, not native creatures here. So, they were recruiting at the university this year fishermen. I met the kid who actually does it. I said, listen, dude, we need to talk. Me and him had a long talk. He was very cordial with me. He says, no, they were pretty good. I says, well, you know, they were horrible on the Kenai and all over. And he says, yeah, a catastrophe, but they were pretty good here last year. I'm the guy who actually did the count. I says, well, do me a favor, brother. You know, and very cordial, very polite to me. I was to him too. You know, the whole fishing industry is corrupt. Alaska's fish counts are corrupt. Alaska has admitted in a court of law that they've been lying on fish counts. And then we'll get to the Copper River. This is real historic stuff. I says, well, I got a hunch they're going to be horrible again this year because, you know, I'm watching that Columbia River, you know, the biggest. It's 2.5 miles wide. So I'll post the photograph, the link to the number on the thumbnail of this. This is a big deal. I'm busier than fuck. I'm overwhelmed, by the way. You know, Dana's took up so much of the slack, but Dana's doing his thing. And so, you know, the Great Pacific Genocide, this is, you know, well, they genocided the whole earth. How long will it take Fukushima to make it around the globe? Make it around the globe in a few days. It's called the jet stream. Why Trump's freaking in North Korea with this great leader who murdered his own father, freaking, you know, Putin, fuck. In Japan. Stephen Curry's him. Don't even get me going. Fucking, so, stay with me. This is real historic and important stuff. So, the Copper River, which used to be exclusively, get your big Copper River Chinook. They started cheating a long time ago. These are Chinook. We got record return. No, they don't have record returns. That's fucking total bullshit. What they have is they have early sockeye returns. Sockeye. Sockeye, they don't bite. They're netted. Now, do you believe them? I mean, it's amazing. They will sell Copper River salmon now into a tub, and it's sockeye. They make cat food out of sockeye salmon. They're not Chinook. And it's an early run. There's forest fires on the Kenai Peninsula. Now, the Kenai Peninsula Chinook number is in, the early number. Now, that's a teeny run. That's a small subset run. And it was pathetic as hell. It was just as bad as last year's nightmare number. And if you don't believe me, then why is Alaska, Oregon, and Washington, and California, it's so fucking great, then why do they keep getting federal disaster aid? Why do they keep applying for federal disasters to the fishing and getting it? Tell me. So, tell me this. They're a catastrophe, so I says, make sure you report properly. I'm the guy, we're the guys that put that number in to Alaska. I said, do it right. So this is the big one. This is the biggest early Chinook run. This is the biggest one. I'll post, it's a fucking in southern, southeast. Now, Fraser, Dr. Blanch, I call up the Tea Club all the time. Those fuckers. Don't even get me going. Of course, the fucking Columbia is a catastrophe right now. We're sitting at, what, 87, 88,000 for the year. Now, the year's officially, this is the year of 2019 is half over. So, their projection, they're sitting at 88,000. Their spring projection was 200,000. Spring. The run's over. 88,000. My number's going to be dead on again. So, now stay with me. This so-called early run, they run on sunlight. They run, look, this whole thing that they run on water temperature is total bullshit. And by the way, the water temperature cooled 3 years ago in the Pacific Ocean. Cooled. Now, I'm not talking atmospheric. I'm talking the water temperature of the Pacific. Oh, it's just the blob. It's just fucking warm water. It's just acidification, mystified puzzle stuff. No, listen, this is important. We don't count dead human beings. I was in that room right there. Given 2 months to live in 2011. Right there. 2 months to live. Right there. Looking out over all this freaking work I did for all these years. What a journey this has been. I apologize. They're going to lie about this. They're going to lie. They're going to push it into the Pacific Ocean. We don't catch dead humans in bone marrow transplants. I was at Dr. Hanley's wake last night. I'll do a video. I'll post a video of that. Important. He donated his brain to science. It's, you know, I'll talk more about this on my radio show tomorrow. But we don't catch dead tide pools. Kevin Blanch does. Dead tide. I mean, I'm the world record holder. Bob Beeman, fucking Blanch with the failed aortic valve. I had open heart surgery there 2 years ago. Replaced aortic valve. Chemo. I mean, go on and on. This is historic work. So we count every salmon. Now, I'm the one who's held Oregon to fire. Now, Oregon, the Army Corps of Engineers used to do the counting. Oregon has their own. Now, the state of Washington are the biggest derelicts. Now, I mean, I like it how Fox News, Independent, all these people are reporting these bullshit, manufactured, fake activism fights in Portland. You know, that's all bullshit. It's all total fuck. 30 people get into a fucking fight over nah bullshit. It's manufactured bullshit. That's all it is. Meanwhile, the Pacific Ocean dies. Biggest story in Seattle, in Portland. Oh, fuck, by a billion times. So, the salmon collapsed in earnest. The state of Washington refuses to post number, refuses to count. They won't talk to me. You know, they fired the head of the ODFW in 2015. They were grants saying, oh, record returns, Army Corps Engineers, Army Corps Engineers. Army Corps Engineers classified Kevin Blanch. That's an unarguable fact. Whistleblower cases. There you go. The feds have classified me. It's been verified to me. Me think about that. Whoa. Fucking guy full of fucking AML leukemia. You know, circle the wagons on that. Hired trolls to discredit me all over. We count every fucking salmon. Alaska. Thank you, Oregon. I mean, I talk to them so much. They used to laugh. They don't laugh. They're pissed. She's like, oh no, we put our own. We don't wait for the Army Corps Engineers. We have our own sonar. We put it up. They put it up every morning, 7 days a week at 6 a.m. That's all my doing new. And thank you to them doing that. And they'll tell you straight up. You talk to them, they'll say, oh, that's Kevin Blanch. Who got Tillamook Bay closed? You know, was an activist. Sierra Club, Greenpeace? No, Kevin Blanch. Tim Martin. Kevin Blanch and his little Kevin Blanch, his little post-ignorance army. Thank you, Tim Martin, doing that great work up there. He shot some really great videos today on the oyster. You know, get your oysters. Yeah, it's only got human waste in it. Killing people, that's all. Demonic acid killing people, that's all. Boots on the ground. He's going to interview a guy today who almost died of demonic acid. They won't tell you. I called organizers, hey, you got people dying of demonic acid from the underweight, sick crabs? Yep. Where can we find that information? Oh, here's the health department. Call the health department. Won't return phone calls. Won't talk to me. We don't have that number. We can't tell. We count salmon. We count them all. So, record returns in 2015. The average Chinook salmon go to sea for 5 years. Now, the stillhead is a total wipeout collapse, but it started to collapse on cue in 2012. You know, boom, boom. Look, the Army Corps of Engineers was grandstanding. You can look it up, ODFW, WFW, all over grandstanding what fucking historic record returns at 20. This has not been going on for years. This is an acute collapse off record returns in 2015. This is the smoking gun of Fukushima. Oh, they're testing. They'll tell you straight up there's fucking Fukushima in every single fish. Cesium, fucking iodine, everyone, they'll tell you that. But what how can they test for something they don't even know what it is? This has never happened before. Here's the difference. Here's the difference on Chernobyl. Norway, Sweden, Austria, the downwinders of Chernobyl started picking it up and reporting it to the world. That's how the tale of Chernobyl was told. By the way, HBO documentary is nothing new. You know? What, Kevin Blanch, you're going to wait 33 fucking years to tell, you know, fighting for my life with leukemia? The downwinders from Japan were the United States. The United States, Yalta by the Sea, has total control of Japan. As Trump, they're all in Japan right now. Trump standing with, oh dear leader, that great leader, you know, who killed his own uncle, executed his own, killed his own brother in broad daylight. You know, great man, the most repressive societies on earth. Well, he was with them yesterday. The Saudis, the people that flew them as the first responder fucking dies, the people that killed him. Not my words, Trump's words. We need to go after the Saudi royal family. That's who funded him. Not my words, Trump's words. And he sits with them. And his daughters, the beheaders, the most repressive people on earth, his cousins. So, go Queen Victoria, Canada. Yay, oh Canada. So this number, I'll post it. This is the big Chinook run. The biggest so far. Now, that's early. Not this one isn't early. This one's pretty well. It's a catastrophe. It's a fucking collapse. It's a fucking wipeout. The ocean's poison. I mean, these gray whales all walking out. Oh, the orcas have left in Canada. They fucking left in fucking Puget Sound. They're in Monterey Bay. Unheard of. Never happened. Starving mammals eating Oh, once in a lifetime to see. I'll be back tide pool jumping fucking ASAP. I had to go Dr. Henley's wake last night. I got a lot going on. This is a catastrophe. This is an important historical documents. You know, you can go into now, listen, good science doesn't give a shit about your hyperbole, clean, green, too cheap to fucking murder, all the fucking bullshit. I don't give a fuck about popular culture. I don't give a fuck about contemporaryism. I don't care about any of that shit. Good science, fucking first you hypothesize the knowledge, then you do the field work. I've done fucking 8 years incredible field fucking work. Hypothesis, they're going to push it into the ocean, they're going to lie, it's going to break the eco chain. The Chinook salmon will be the smoking gun at 2015. Record returns, they will collapse immediately on. I had their numbers dead on. I'm the only marine biologist on Earth. Everybody else was way off, deviated from the mean. We call that an outliner. We were talking about statistical probability last night at the wake. Fuck, Kevin, you're amazing. Yeah, I went through this fucking school. Try to get through this one, me and the secretary. Blackball me. Who knew? Who knew that was going to be my fucking place in science? They hypothesized 1.4 million in 2015. That was the projections by OFW, WFW, fucking NOAA, all of them, and me. 2016, they projected 1.7 million. I projected 680,000. They come in at 680,000. 2017, they projected 2.1 million. I projected 480,000. They come in at 488,000. 2018, once his luck, twice his fucking skill. 30 times his recorded history. 2018. Kevin Blanch, I project 333,000. They project 2.1 to 2.3 million. 336,000. Kevin Blanch, 2019 projects 220,000. Lowers projection to 180,000. They project 2.7 million. Fucking their spring projection lowered. By the way, it's all emergency closed. And this is important too. Remember these numbers without fishing, without gill netting. Last year they were gill netting fishing. You don't think they catch any? So these numbers, even as horrible and as horrific they are, this is with no fucking fishing. It's closed. In Oregon. Alaska, not closed. You know, but, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of restrictions on Chinook salmon fishing. There's plenty of areas up there that it's closed. Absolutely. Now, early on the Kenai, that early run was horrific, but that's a tiny early run. The fucking, sockeye record fishing in Cal, total fucking lies. Record dead cat bounce. The last 5 years it's been 0. I mean, there's fucking nothing. It's bullshit. These are hard evidence numbers. We count every salmon. But remember, this is by fucking number. I know for a fact, because we got boots on the ground, by weight it's even much fucking worse. Much worse. So, I'm exhausted. I'm stressed as fuck. I've dedicated my life to this for what? It's devastated my life. I spoke last night at the wake, and I'm like, I got a bill for 1.8 million is what I got. Rip me open, pour me out. Who knew? You know, all my education, all my hard work, everything I did comes to this. My place in time. Thank you, everybody, for supporting this historic Ph.D. This historic fucking work. This is a catastrophe. Just put up the data. Just put it into the library, Kevin. Don't worry about fucking how many videos, whatever. I've come to that conclusion. Just get it into the library as a research PhD. I mean, that's all I can do. I fought him every fucking way I could. And, you know, fighting this contemporary beast. Death for dogma. Willing to go along with it. Not me. I fight for her, the ecology. She fights for me. Give her 2 months to live right there in that room. 2011. God, that was a horrible fucking while there. In the bone marrow transplant at LDS on 11/11/11. I'm still alive. But the Hamley's wake was last night. He got leukemia the same time I did. The Waters curse took another. I did a video for him this morning I'm going to put up. He donated his brain to science, by the way. Greatest football player that ever played at our state. When we were the #1 school business when he and I ran the fucking program. Who knew? Talked to the secretary up there last night. She's like, okay. They just kept chipping away. I finally walked out too and resigned. Yeah, don't go see the Dalai Lama. It's an important video. This is the Alaska number, the Chinook number. As I reported in January, 60,000 views. New scale fucking photograph on 60,000 views on that. This was going to happen. For Cassandra and Hamill had a baby. Boy, I really do feel like the son of Cassandra. I see the future, and no one believes me. So, tune in.